It can be too much to take, holding on so strong when I'm about to break.
Hi everyone, my name is Victoria and welcome to my lupus channel. This video is a follow-up video to my How Does It Feel When I Get Sick with a Cold video that I had released in June? I think it was June. This video was supposed to be done a long time ago, but it didn't get done. Better late than never though, right? So let's just get this started now. You're probably wondering why I have all these medications right here in front of me. These medications were all the lovely medications that I had to take when I had gotten sick in June. And it was not fun, and I figured I'd share that with you just so you could get an idea of what exactly I had to go through when I got sick. So in the video, the video I had in June, I had said that hopefully it would be smooth sailing once they had put me on the oral steroids, which is this methylprednisolone. They also gave me a steroid shot in my butt. So steroid shot in my butt and oral steroids. That was for my flare-up of my lupus because getting sick with a cold gave me a lupus flare-up. But I thought that after that and having done the saline nasal spray, which was meant to clear up my nose, that everything would finally be fine. And I took antibiotics too, by the way. But it wasn't. It did not just suddenly become smooth sailing. I had gotten worse before I got better. So probably a few days after I finished the steroid pack, I thought I was fine. I thought I was finally healing from my sickness. So I started, washing dishes, doing house chores, and moving around, which I wasn't able to do for nearly 3 weeks. I think I got a little too excited having done that, and I pretty much exposed myself to some sort of environmental particles. I wouldn't even know what you call it, but basically I went to do laundry. One of the maintenance guys was using the leaf blower, and when I passed by, it happened to just go in my face, and I thought that me covering my mouth and my nose would be enough for me to not get affected by it. Wasn't the case. Probably 1 hour after that happened, I had already been coughing on and on and on. I couldn't breathe properly. I felt this stabbing pain in my chest, and I felt like vomiting because, like I said, I just kept going on and on with my coughing, and I don't know what on earth was going on. I just know that something wasn't right. Something wasn't right at all. I was wanting to take myself to urgent care, but then I felt so sick in that moment that I couldn't even drive myself at that point. So feeling better did not happen. I felt so much worse than I had in the 3 weeks prior to this incident, and I just didn't know what to do. I texted my husband, and I was just hoping that it would get better. What I had done, which I normally do when I'm having breathing problems, which was happening, is I tried my albuterol Pro Air medication. It's an inhaler, usually used for asthma, but they use it for my lupus symptoms of pleurisy whenever it acts up. And I tried it, hoping that it would actually make a difference, but it did not do anything for me. I tried drinking Benadryl, an antihistamine. Usually that's what I take when I get an allergic reaction to anything. did not help whatsoever. I was just feeling so helpless and miserable, and pretty much the entire day I was just doing my best to tolerate the symptoms I was going through. I couldn't eat because I felt like vomiting each time I coughed. And I just waited for my husband, and as soon as my husband came, I hated having to drag him to urgent care again, because I already went to urgent care probably 3 times before that happened, and then that would be my 4th urgent care visit. And I didn't want to have to go there again. I was tired of seeing people's faces. I'm pretty sure they were tired of seeing my face. And I just don't like having to go to the doctors as much as possible. But I had no choice. So I had gone there. And of course, as I expected, the doctor was so confused on how to treat my symptoms or even diagnose what I was going through because of my lupus. Of course, they thought I had asthma. That's always what they think I have. And then I have to go through that whole long speech of, I have lupus, I suffer from shortness of breath, breathing problems, I get pleurisy, stabbing pain on my chest, under my breast, and the doctor, I don't know, the doctor seemed kind of annoyed by me. At least that's what I felt like. Because I don't know, I guess I just knew, I had this impression as soon as I got in that I already know what this is. It's some sort of inflammation going on with my lungs. And it was some sort of inflammation. Normally they would treat it with some sort of steroid pack, which is what I had already taken when I was having a flare-up. So that became the problem. The doctor felt it would have been pointless to have to go through a week's worth of oral steroids again, since I was already given it. She didn't feel comfortable doing that. I didn't feel comfortable having to do that again. She didn't know how to treat my symptoms, and she wasn't even sure this was gonna work, but what she had me do was do another inhaler, a steroid inhaler, which is called Dulera. She wanted me to do it 2 puffs for however many days I needed until the symptoms seemed like they were getting better. And of course, I always ask, what are the side effects? And ironically, the side effects are the same exact symptoms that I was already experiencing. So I was not doing well. Aside from the fact that I was feeling like complete crap, I didn't have much faith in whatever medication they were trying to get me to do, and I already took Benadryl, but they wanted me to do another antihistamine, which was Singulair. This is the generic version. So that was a treatment. Inhaler, antihistamine, take it until the symptoms get better. I was feeling helpless, but what else can I do? That's what the doctor said. I'm not a doctor myself, so who knows, maybe it was gonna help, right? So that's what I did. I took those medications for about 2 days. It did start clearing up, I have to say. It did start getting better after I took the medications, and I didn't even have to take it for a 3rd day. I was able to tolerate however I felt. The symptoms started to minimize shortly, but that still wasn't the end of it. So after that allergic reaction got better, then I started feeling a lot of ear pain because I was still recovering from the sinus infection. It must have gotten so clogged in there, I don't know. But I was having so much ear pain, and at this point I was getting really worried because my husband and I were going to go to San Francisco and be on a plane. And I already knew from other people's stories that it's not a good idea to be on a plane when you are sick or just barely recovering from a cold. So I was super scared and I didn't know what to do. So what did I have to go to? What did I have to do again? I had to go to urgent care again. I had to go to urgent care and get more medication. This time I had to do Sudafed to do decongestant. It's a decongestant so that I don't have to feel so much pain. It allows the fluids in your ears to get out of your body. I had to do this. I had to do Flonase, which is supposed to help, I guess, dry out the mucus in your ears. It helped, I guess. It helped a little, but not so much. By the time we got to riding the airplane, I was in so much pain still. But I mean, what can I do at that point? I wasn't not gonna go to my trip with my husband just because of the ear pain. But that's basically what I had to go through. I didn't officially get better from all the things that I was experiencing until after our trip to San Francisco, probably a few days after. So that by that time it was already July 4th, July 5. Like that's when I could honestly say that I was better. It took over a month's worth for me to heal from what started off as just a common cold and ended up becoming all kinds of other complications, that left me so miserable. And I mean I was supposed to have about almost 2 months of break from work because school is out, and that was my time to enjoy myself and relax. But instead I spent half of the time just stuck home and sick, and it was just not cool. So I felt like it was necessary for me to do a video about it because it was so significant. And that's pretty much what I go through every time I get sick with a cold. There's just so many different things that could happen. It takes so long for me to recover, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. It's one of the things I fear the most. So if you have any, I guess, comments or questions or any of that sort, you're always more than welcome to leave comments on my YouTube channel. I really do appreciate them. Or give me likes, show some love so that I get more motivated to keep doing these videos, because I'm honestly feeling a bit uneasy about it. That's why it took me so long, because I'm just not used to the idea of being in front of the camera and talking, and I don't like how I sound. But I'm trying. I'm giving it a try because I think I am making a difference. But please show some love, and I will see you guys next time.